Good morning, everyone. Reverend Deanna Cox here with the midweek reflection for our fourth Sunday of Advent coming up, fourth week of Advent, the week of love. And I was thinking, we have a hymn, and it's love, love, love. That's what it's all about. And yes, that is what it's all about. To maybe sound a little bit hokey, that's what Christmas is about, is love. And I was thinking about it when it's an all kind of powerful God. How can they possibly relate to what it is like to be human? So God comes down at Christmas. God becomes human in Jesus, the Word made flesh. And that is truly love. To become vulnerable and flawed, and to really go the distance to know and understand what another is going through. And that is what our faith stories tell us that God does for us. That God comes to us in the person of Jesus, the infant, as a child. God comes as a child, Emmanuel, to show us that we are loved, to help us to relate to God, and to show us that love and being loved and loving others is so very much more than just a warm feeling that we have. Love is showing up when it's least expected or when it's very hard to do. Jesus was born into a world of hardship, conflict, and doubt. Often our stories, we kind of envision this kind of idyllic little stable with animals gathered around, and it's so cozy and serene feeling. But we forget the part that just a short time after his birth, Jesus has to flee because of political unrest where he's at, and they're essentially they're coming for him. And and I was talking, I think I shared one time how some of the clergy are around the world are depicting the manger scene in piles of rubble this year as kind of a visual reminder that God comes to us in the midst of conflict, like is being experienced around the world. A colleague, love is also advocating for ourselves and for others, advocating for justice, and yes, this means that love gets political. A colleague shared a post that I read this morning that talks about how when Mary found out that she was pregnant, the first thing she did is go and visit Elizabeth, who was also expecting. And they sat there and talked about how their children were going to overthrow the current state of being. They were talking for their children. And they shared their dreams and visions about how their boys would change the world. Love is so much more than just tolerating each other, at least in its best form. Sometimes all we can manage is tolerating each other. But in its best form, love is making time to understand, truly understand the perspective where someone who believes differently than we do, who acts very differently than we do, taking that time to understand them and really getting at the issue behind the response instead of just reacting. I remember, and I think I've shared on here before, a story of it's like a little folklore or message, proverb kind of wisdom. And it says, if you are tired of pulling people out of the river, go upstream and see what is causing them to fall in. So love is about doing that work of trudging upstream to see what is happening to cause whatever symptom that you are dealing with, and addressing it with compassion and kindness instead of diminishing another. And I say that love is all these things, but it also is not a punching bag or being a pushover. Love is holding accountable those who choose to use their power to diminish another. We see Joseph doing this when he advocates for Mary. Even his initial choice of dismissing her quietly is advocating for her, but then choosing to take her as his wife is speaking up for what he knows is right. Love isn't always easy, because opening ourselves to love, we also experience pain and grief. And we know that this time of year can be very challenging and very hard for others, for ourselves and others. And so we offer a service to acknowledge that, to acknowledge all the ways in which Christmas is painful, in which to acknowledge the grief and the pain that comes with opening ourselves to love. And so if that is something that you need and you are in close physical proximity and able to join us, that happens tomorrow, which is Thursday, December 21st, in Killam at 7 p.m. I see that knowledge that love also opens us to pain as well as joy in the stories of Mary and Joseph. And lastly, but not for me, but not for the capacity of love, I just wanted to highlight that love is daring. Love is daring to choose hope and joy when all else might seem lost. Love is daring to dream. It's daring to believe that peace is possible. Love is daring to believe that the world could be different, like Mary and Elizabeth did. Love is all of this and so much more. And so this Christmas, friends, wherever you are, however you gather, may you find love. Please don't let the expectations of the world, of the society around us, limit the love that you can experience. Please don't let any conflict or struggles that might be in your life close you off to love. For it is out there to be found and is just waiting to be grasped onto. So friends, may you choose love, be love, and share love this Christmas and every day following. Take care, and God bless you, and have a very Merry Christmas. Goodbye.